Yeah, it is. Definitely. It's seduction. Let's be very clear about this. Now, the business kind of equivalent would be seduction as opposed to, say, manipulation, or I don't know what you would call it, abuse, I suppose. The business equivalent, or the business analogy, would be the difference between persuasion and manipulation. Okay? There's nothing wrong with persuasion at all. Persuasion is where you both get what you want. Manipulation is where I get what I want and it doesn't matter what you get. I don't care. That's two different things. There's a big difference. And the same with seduction. Seduction is a two-way thing. It's a dance, if you like. Two people do the same dance and they both enjoy it. Yeah? When it's not done in a seductive manner, then it becomes more like manipulation, whereas, say, a guy will trick a girl into bed, making false promises and that kind of thing. And she ends up feeling used and dirty, which is her own fault for consenting in the first place. But, it doesn't end well for anyone. That's a different thing. Okay, I'm talking about a seduction where both parties get what they want and enjoy the process of getting it. Just the same as in sales. Now, it's noble and ethical because, one, there's an end result you both want. And giving someone the end result they want in a way they want to get it, how is that not noble and ethical? How can it not be? This is my real beef with some people who piss and moan about sales and say they don't like to use But what they say, they don't like to use cheesy or underhanded or high pressure sales tactics. What they mean is we don't like to use any sales tactics at all because they see them all the same way. Yeah. I think a lot of that comes down to fear of trying to sell. We said this before, the fear trying to sell because they fear rejection. They're not got the requisite skills. They haven't got the self-confidence, the self-belief, all those things. But ultimately, if we said it before, if you can solve your clients' problems and it's your duty to sell to them. And in the same way as with seduction, I guess, if you both want the same thing, there's absolutely nothing wrong in you doing what you need to do within the bounds of consent and good taste, from doing that. So, I mean, there are guys out there in the seduction community who do lie to girls and cheat and make all kinds of promises. It's not my business to tell them they can't do that because they're not actually doing anything without consent. It's all done consensually. Not something I would do because it's just not. Why would you do that when you can get the same result for both of you without doing it? Mm-hmm. That's the kind of action of a manipulator, or possibly a particularly unpleasant psychopath or sociopath. But if you can get what you want by giving someone what they want as well and both enjoy the process of getting there, why would you not do it? That's noble, that's ethical. And aren't we here to enjoy ourselves? Above everything else, if you do it tastefully, if you do it with consent, if you do it properly, then you won't just seduce them once, you might seduce them again. So maybe, again, in romantic terms, you might not just get your leg over on the Saturday night, you might also get a dirty weekend in Paris 3 months down the line. Yeah. When in sales, you might make a bigger sale. They join your lower end group and then they join your higher end one, or will they buy something bigger from you? Because you've seduced them once and you keep giving them a good experience. There's nothing wrong with seduction romantically or in business. And there's nothing morally objectively wrong in any of it because there's no objective morality.
Yeah, and it's like the famous philosopher D. Rake said, YOLO.
Dirac, the French guy.
Nah, D. Rake.
Oh, D. Rake. Who's he? Oh, I think I'm missing a joke here because you're smiling.
Yeah.